What's the worst road trip you've ever been on? Long hours in a cramped car? Running out of snacks? Getting lost with a GPS that keeps saying, recalculating? Well, whatever it was, I guarantee you it was a breeze compared to what Hannibal and his army went through over 2,000 years ago when they crossed the Alps. Let's set the stage. It's the 3rd century BC. Rome is the big, bad superpower of the Mediterranean. But over in North Africa, the Carthaginians aren't too happy about that. Enter Hannibal Barca, one of the greatest military minds in history. Hannibal decides, you know what? Instead of fighting the Romans head-on, I'm going to do something they'd never expect. I'm going to invade Italy from the north, and to do that, I'm taking my army over the Alps. Now, most people would hear that and think, nope, absolutely not. Terrible idea. But Hannibal? Oh no, he's all in, and not just with soldiers. He's bringing cavalry and elephants, because nothing says I mean business like war elephants marching through the snow. So in 218 BCE, Hannibal sets off from Spain with around 50,000 men, 9,000 cavalry, and about 37 elephants. He marches through what is now France, fighting off angry local tribes who weren't thrilled about thousands of uninvited guests trampling through their villages. But the real challenge comes when they reach the Alps. Hannibal, sir, you sure about this? Absolutely. It'll be fine. Just a little snow. Keep moving. Well, a little snow was an understatement. The army faced freezing temperatures, blizzards, avalanches, you name it. Soldiers were slipping off icy cliffs. Horses were struggling to find footing. And the elephants? Let's just say they were not built for winter hiking. To make things worse, the local tribes weren't exactly rolling out the welcome mat. Some attacked from above, sending rocks crashing down on Hannibal's men. Supplies ran low, men started to starve, and morale dropped. At one point, Hannibal had to give his men a pep talk. Probably something like, listen, I know this is awful, but I promise, once we get through this, we'll get to Italy and crush the Romans. Just a few more miles, uphill in the snow. The march was grueling. Some soldiers resorted to eating whatever they could find, roots, bark, and even their own leather gear. The snow made every step treacherous, and the brutal cold took the lives of many. But Hannibal's sheer determination kept them going. He even used fire and vinegar to break through rock formations blocking their path. Yes, fire and vinegar. The ancient world had some pretty creative solutions. Eventually, after about 15 grueling days, they made it, but at a huge cost. By the time Hannibal reached the other side, his army was down to about 20,000 men, 6,000 cavalry, and only a handful of elephants. But here's the crazy part. He didn't just survive, he actually pulled it off. The Romans were caught completely off guard, and Hannibal went on to win a series of battles in Italy, including the legendary Battle of Cannae. For years, Hannibal terrorized the Italian countryside, winning battles and outsmarting Roman generals. But Rome, being Rome, adapted. They cut off Hannibal's reinforcements, starved his troops of supplies, and eventually forced him to retreat. Hannibal's crossing of the Alps remains one of the most daring military maneuvers in history. His ability to inspire his troops, endure brutal conditions, and still emerge victorious in battle speaks to his incredible leadership and tactical genius. It wasn't just about getting to Italy. It was about making a statement, showing Rome that Carthage wasn't going down without a fight. Even centuries later, military leaders from Napoleon to Patton have studied his tactics, and his legend lives on in history books. But what happened to Hannibal in the end? After years of fighting, he was forced to flee Carthage and spent the rest of his life on the run, advising other enemies of Rome. Eventually, he took his own life rather than be captured by his old foes. His story is a testament to resilience, strategy, and a bit of sheer madness. So next time you're stuck in traffic or your GPS sends you the wrong way, just remember, at least you're not hiking over the Alps with an army and a bunch of grumpy elephants. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. so you never miss an epic tale from the past. What other historical feats should we cover next? Let us know in the comments below.